Hello, greetings. Hope you're doing great. Welcome to Code Cup by Francis. And on this very short moment, I just want to share with you some issues about Android application development. And basically, I'll take you through hands-on on how you can just develop a simple mobile application. So we shall, to start with, because we're doing hands-on, we shall start with our first app. Maybe this I'll take you through the development of a simple message sharing application. Just a name that we share app. Basically, it's a message sharing application with which a user will input or write the message. Then the single message will be able to be shared in different sharing social networks. So just you can write a message and it can be shared. You can share it with various social platforms. So I'll take you through the content of this. I'll show you a simple design, how you can simply design your applications. Then we're going to scale down to development of the application. Then we're going to test it on a real Android device. Then if possible, we're going to generate a signed APK. So let's try to check on simple design. So basically, I just did this design in a simple tool like PowerPoint. So basically, we are going to have on the top, we are going to have just the title of the app. For this case, it will be a Wish Share app. Then we are going to have an image here that actually it will be displaying something like the image that will show the context of an application, just like a sharing application. Then we're going to have a welcoming message, welcome to WeShare app. Then we'll be having a space that somebody will be inserting, we'll be writing the messaging part. Then finally, we are going to have a button that actually when somebody click on this button, somebody can be able to share the text that it has been written there. So this is just a simple design of an application. So we are going to take this design and put into real implementation. So let's see how we can do it. So I'll open my Android Studio and I'll go to start a new Android Studio project. So I'll select an empty activity and maybe let me give it a name. The name of an application, it will be WeShare application. And the package name, you can change it, but on my case I'll leave it as it is. This is the location and the language that actually will be used on the backend. It will be Java, and actually the minimum API level. So I can just click on finish to let Android Studio build do the first setups. So after Android Studio has done the initial stage of building the application. So basically, when Studio opens this, after building the application, so we can see we have two files. We have the main activity.java, which actually this specify the thing that will be happening on the backend. So any functionalities that we want to add on this application, it will be managed by the Java part. But we have the other file that actually is main activity.xml. Basically, this is the file that actually will be managing the user interface part, how the application will look like. That part, it will be seen on the XML part. So basically, this is what we see. So we need to craft it to put it in the way that actually it will suit our design. So we have the two options. We have the design part and we have the text part. So we can opt to do whatever that actually we want it to be. But both parts, they are useful on the design part of the user interface. but simply because this is our first application, so I'll advise us to go to the text part and see the codes how they are. And the first layout, it is constraint layout, with which actually for the beginners it is a bit challenging layout to play around with. So we are going to delete this constraint layout. So you just omit it, and after omitting, just write linear. We are going to use linear layout. It is linear layout. That actually it will make our work to be more easier. And give it an orientation. So we're going to give it an orientation that vertical, so each element or each Android widget that actually will be placed it will be listed from the topmost widget to the middle and the bottom widget. And we are going to delete this part, the first text part that actually it has been put there. So we get back to the design part, and if you do remember, from this point of view, we say that we need to have an image over here. So we are going to start on importing this image. So what actually I'll do, I'll come to the design part, and the first thing we need to add is an image. So on this part we have the image view, so I'm gonna click this image view and add it here. And simply because we don't have that image, I'll come to sample images and I'll select these avatars. While we are waiting, so I had a simple crash on my Android Studio. So just to back up, our design leaders, we need to have an image before the other widget down here. Don't worry about the first widget here, the widget with a button with a name we share. It's a generated widget, is called an action bar, which actually it is automatically put in place there. So what actually, let's proceed. We need an image here, but before we put the widget for image, we need to have that image. So I'll advise, let's just open our browser and just search for social networks, maybe something like this, and let's go to images. Maybe, of course, we are doing message sharing application. Maybe let's say I'm going for this image, which actually combines all the social medias and the likes. So I can just download this image. You need actually to know where you are saving it for easy accessing of that image. So I'll get back to my Android Studio, and on your left hand side we have the folder structure. So the first thing it is, we need to make sure that your Android Studio on the folder structure, it reads Android. Then when we scroll it down, the folder which manage the images and the folder which manage the images, it is under the resource folder, and it is called drawable. So I can click on drawable and right click on drawables, then new. We usually use the batch drawable import. Then at this point I can just drag and drop my image. I remember I saved it on my desktop. On the folder it was named WeShare, so I can just click this for the image. So so I can just drag it to my Android Studio here. Then I can rename the name, put it social media. Okay, then it will be added to my Android Studio. So on this part on drawable, if you expand it, you find this image social media here, and you find it in a duplicate of 1 2 3 4 5, meaning that it accommodates different screen size and resolution of different Android devices. So then, backing up to our design, I can, on this panel, I can select the image view and drag it here. Then it will give me a room for I to add an image that I want. So if you remember, I had an image which is social media. I can just type here and then the image will come here, so I can select it, and we find it has been added to our UI over there. So our image is within our UI, then we find it as a bit of an error. We can just omit it. So our image, it has been added over here. Then let's get back our design. Also, it tells us we have the welcoming text. We have the welcoming text that it is stated there, you're welcome to WeShare, just immediately after the image. So I can close this and get back here, get back to the design panel. We just need a text over here, so this is a text view, so I can just drag it and drop it immediately after our image. Then I can get back on the text here, and this is a text view, and so I can just on the point that it is on the property of text, I can delete it, and over here I can just write welcome to our app, it is WeShare. Let's get back to our design. It was alright, welcome to WeShare application or app. So again, we have managed to add our text view over here, but we can give it a we can add some stuff to make our text to look more appealing, like the text color, and we can give it a bit of background, something like that. So maybe I add another property, put a text size. Let me put maybe like 20 SP. I prefer to use SP. You can use we have two dimensions, we have SP and DP, and basically SP, it is for text. That so if this application is running any Android device with SP, it is very easy for somebody to control the font size. So if somebody enlarges the font size, this text on the application also will adapt it. And I'll need to put it on center, so I can just put gravity and then I can center it. We can give it some padding, maybe like, let's say, how about if we give it 5 dp, or maybe let's say we give it 8 dp, so something like that. We can put a margin, maybe of, again, let's say we put 1 dp. After that, we can give it a color, maybe let's say text color. It depends with the type of background that we want to put over there, but let us assume that we want to put a blue background, so we can give it a white. The text color can be white. So, and we know the color code for white, it is this sign and FF times 6. Then if this is the case, let's give it a background, and background, let's go and search for the color codes. I prefer to use this site, material palette, and maybe let's try to use blue, this blue, the combination of two blue colors, or blue and light blue, or blue and cyan. But I think blue and cyan might be a good combination. Maybe I'm not so sure about it, but I need the text to have this color, so I can just copy it, the background of the text, so I can have copied and I can paste it here. So we find it is over there, and I think I have to omit this margin to make it fill the whole part. Then I think I can add padding to give it 10 dp. Then I think it if the text could be in bold, it could be more appealing. Text style, we add this property, text style, we give it bold, so at least we see our app is coming. So up that point, we have managed to put the image and the text and the welcoming note. So again, after that, we have this part, the messaging part. So let's see how we can add it on Android Studio. So the field for putting text, actually it is it's an edit text. It's the same text, but it is not a text view as we used previously. So I can click on text, and just we need to put an edit text, and actually it's just a plain text. It's not a password, it's not an email or so I can just click on plain text and drag and drop it here. So we have it there. So I can get back to our text, and then we can see how we can style it. And because this is the field that we want, we need to put it, we need to give it a good ID. So the ID, maybe let's say that we give it an ID of message. Okay, then it has been written name. I think we don't need this, so we can just delete it. And I prefer putting a hint rather than writing a text that somebody has to erase it. So I can just write a hint, maybe write your message here. Then we can give it a bit of padding, maybe like 5, maybe like 10 dp. Then the text color, we can opt to give it a text color of maybe, let's say the text that somebody will type over there should be in black, and black, the code of black, it is this, the hash sign with 3 zeros. This is the code for black. So we are done with the spot that somebody will write a message. Getting back here, we have the button. Finally, we need to include a button down here. So for adding our button, I can just come on design and click on buttons. We just need a simple button, so I can just drag and drop here. So we have a button over there. So I get back to text. It has been, so we need to give it an ID, maybe button send. Then the text over here, backing up to our design, it was written share share, then this share image, I think it was, we need to put an image which actually shows the person that we are sharing this. So I can just put a text here, written share, and I can include a background to this button, background with which I can opt to use the same blue color to avoid the color craziness. So I can paste the same color here. Then I can change the color of the text with text color property, put it again to white color, and we find the words, the share, the text of the word share, it is in caps, so we can change it to adapt the way that we have written this property, written text all caps. We keep it false, and then we go for the size, text size. We adapt the 20 sp, and maybe I find a point to give it a bold, to give it a bold property. So maybe text style, maybe give it bold. All right, a bit of margin, maybe 5 dp. So we have the image, we have the place to put a text, then we have this share, but actually we have been according to our design, it has to have an image here. So you can just go to your browser and go to this site, iconfinder.com, and maybe I want to share, I can just write the keyword for the image that I want for the icon. So these are a number of the icons for sharing, but actually I need a free icon. Okay, and all these are in black color. All right, maybe this one. Can open a new tab, and because here I've adapted, I have just two colors. I have white and blue. I don't want to add another color, so I can just open this in editor to change the color, because it is purely black, at least to give it some whitish color. So I can just click on this one, on the colors. We know the color code for white, it is FFF. Then okay, so I can just download this icon. Let me try download by 64 by 64. This is done. So the icon that we have downloaded is this one, so we need to add it to our Android Studio. So again, to drawable, then back drawable import. Here it is. I can just drag it and drop it here. It is a sharing. Then okay, and the place that we want to put it, it is on the left, on the right side of the word share. So I can just come here and add this property, drawable right, and I reference the icon that is at drawable slash this sharing. So we have our icon over there. Here it is. So actually the other thing that we are going to do, it is just pushing it, because it is on the farmost right. So maybe we can use padding right to move it from right. Maybe we give it a 5, let's say we give it a 10, maybe 15 dp. Okay, we need to do the same on the left side again. It is padding left. Maybe let's keep it like 10 dp. How about we put 15? At least it is centered. So we find that all of our staffs are crowded here, but the big the big part that we need it is this part that somebody has to write a message. So I'll add a property of weight and give it 1. So we find that we have accommodated the whole part of our UI. Otherwise, maybe here on the image I can improve it. Maybe how about I give it a 20 dp the height. How about 300 or 400 dp? And of course we want it to be a whitish image. I can add the background and give it a white color. Hope now it look a bit great, but I think 350 could serve. So we have our image, we have the text view, and we have the point that we need to write. So basically we are done with the UI part, the user interface part. So maybe let's try to check on the part of Java, on the part of functionality basically. So we need to check how we can capture the intertext and how that text can be sent to other part. So I'll go back to this part of Java and click on the main activity. So the first thing that we are going to do, we're going to make a reference for the widget that are within our XML part. So actually we just need to make a reference of 2 widgets. The first widget is one which has a text, and the second widget it is the one with a button. So I write edit text, it is message text, then I call it a button. Then on the method of onCreate method here, I need to link the widget with a variable that are within on the Java file. So I can call it message text, then equals to find view by ID. So I'm going to reference the widget on the layout, with which we called it by arrow.id equals message. You can just get back to your XML and see the ID that you give it. It was to this message. Just copy this. Don't forget the semicolon. Then I can check button again, find view by ID, then arrow.id dot, it is, get back again here, it is button send. So we have made a reference of the widget, making, maybe you can comment linking the widget, linking the Java variables with a widget in the UI. then we come to the point that after capturing the UI widget, what do we want to do? Basically, the operation will work after somebody has written something and this person has clicked the button. So actually we need to put the on-click listener to the button. So I can just call a button, then dot set on-click listener, then we give it to be new on-click listener. So after this button clicked, what should happen? So the first thing, I need to store this variable. Maybe let me call it we need to store the thing that somebody has put on the text box. Maybe string, maybe user message equals to message text dot get text, then we convert it to string. Okay, so if this user message dot is empty, for instance, if somebody has not written anything, what should happen? So we need to put a message dot set error. Maybe this field, maybe write down the message part cannot left blank. Or else something has to happen. Okay, so we come to the actual part that actually we need to send this stuff. So I might write put an intent. Maybe we can say maybe an integer. Should be intent. Action send. Okay. Then there are stuff that we need to specify on this intent. So actually the action is sending this intent, but there are things that actually we need to specify. The first thing, it is the actual thing that will be passed on this intent. So we're going to put intent. So we need to specify the data type that actually will pass. So it will be intent share dot which is set type. So we are going to put to be text / plain. So this is the data type that actually will pass on this intent. Then we need to specify the other thing that actually, alright, it is a text, but the type it is a text, but which text has to pass on the intent. So again, we take intent share dot put extra. Then we put a intent. Actually, the extra thing that it is extra text. Comma, then actually it is this string that we have defined. It is user message. So this is the extra text that actually this intent will carry. And finally, we need to send to perform the actual thing of sending this. So to start this, we are going to do the start activity. Then I think we better use the on create user. Just create user. So we are going to parse our intent share. Then with a message, that may be the sharing option. So this app sharing options. So at that point, actually, we have captured the key data, and we have enabled them to be shared with various social networks. So maybe I can comment this starting the actual sharing stuff. So we hope by this our application will be functioning fine. But before we run it, we need to specify some colors that actually our application will look like. So again, to check on the colors, you just on the folder view, just go on values, then we have colors. We find these are the colors that actually our application use. Maybe they're not good colors. You can get back here on our internet, on your browser. Remember, we opened this site, materialpalette.com, and you can specify like 2 colors that actually you want your application to behave with. For our case, we selected blue and cyan. So these are the colors that we want us to use. So it will be looking like this. So I can just click on download. Then I need to select which format. For my case, I need XML. So this is the folder. Maybe I can open it with can edit with Notepad, and basically I just need this stuff. I can copy this and get back to my studio here. Then I can paste them, and we have color primary dark, and primary light. So maybe let me copy this and paste it here. Or simple, you can just delete this and write maybe at color slash it is just primary dark. So you can either copy or you can just write like this. So just find the simple option on your side. So I think we can run this up and see how does it behave. Just a simple, just an Android device. So I can just click on this part, initializing ADB. Then this is my phone. Just click OK. So basically our application has opened, and as we can see, this is the part, the header part, and this is an image, the welcoming text. We have write your message here. Maybe I say hello Pulse, and when I'm done, I have so our application has opened, and basically this is the design that actually we have been crafting, from the paper to the XML to the functionality. So for instance, I have this option, writing a message, maybe hello friends, and if I'm done, I have this button of sharing. I can just click it. Maybe I just want to share it on maybe the normal message. I can just click on the message, maybe I can write maybe some recipient, maybe Sarah, maybe this person. Okay. So basically that's how our application runs, and I open it again. I can delete this text. And for instance, if I want this, it just to share nothing. You say that the message part cannot left blank. The error part that actually we did. So basically, this is uh, in simplicity how our apps work. So this was just a simple application. So take your time to practice it more. It's just our first application. Just feel free if you have anything to share. These are my dials. Just keep in touch with me. Thank you.